All right, this is Adelaide Street Circuit in Australia, and boy, it has been a hot minute since I have recorded one of these because I went to the Long Beach Grand Prix, the actual one. It was fantastic, and then work has just gotten away from me. But here we are. We're back on the rig, and I have placed. Okay, so previously, about 3 months ago, I'd say 3 or 4 months ago, doing this track, it is completely unforgiving. If you make a mistake, you're in the wall, and that's it. And it is just very tight, very technical, and you really got to pay attention to what you're doing. If your mind wanders for a second, you have a problem, and I did have my mind wander briefly during one of these laps here. I have, however, in practice laps, I think I did about 20 practice laps, and I set about a 122.2, which I looked and was faster by a second than any lap I had done several months ago. I set a 121.2 in qualifying, which is another full second faster, but that was only good enough for eighth position in this race. And so here I am, starting in eighth position, and yeah, I'm a little concerned. I haven't practiced a whole lot before getting on behind the wheel, and whatever's going to happen is going to happen at this point. But yeah, I'm determined to just drive a cautious race, drive my lines, worry about position later. We'll see how things go. There are definitely drivers on here that are faster than I am, so let's see how things start off. It's a very tight chicane in the first turn. Tires are cold. There is no room for error. People are going 3 abreast in here, which is a huge mistake. I go ahead and cut the corner, take the time penalty for cutting the corner because I'd rather do that than get involved in that accident. But that's fine. I find myself in 4th position already in the race as a result of that accident. And I was kind of waiting for it. But again, there's drivers here that are faster than me. The course is not very long, about 2 miles long, 14 turns, all very sharp. Tires are cold here, so I can feel they don't have a lot of grip. This is a very high speed turn coming up here at the end of this straightaway. This is the fastest part of the track right here. You can, in theory, not lift off the gas at all there, the accelerator, but I always let off just a little bit and give myself just a little bit of grace there. First gear for this very sharp turn up into second, and then third. As you come around the corner, you're pretty much already braking into second to make this hard turn here. And then we are coming up into the final turns of the track. 4th gear around this corner. And then as soon as you straighten the car out, start braking, because you got to get down to 1st gear for this corner. And there we are. First lap is complete, and things are looking pretty good. I'm in 4th position, which I hadn't anticipated being in, but here we are, and I know that there are fast drivers behind me. You can see how aggressive you have to be in that first corner. Up ahead, the lead just changed positions. I have Bernardo right behind me. But again, I'm not even focused kind of on who's behind me at this moment. I'm focused on where are my lines, who's in front of me, just being aware that if somebody pulls up alongside me, I'm ready to give them space. But again, staying focused is the key here. Begin braking at about the 150 meter mark there for that first gear, second, third, and then already braking into second gear again. You can see Bernardo is right on my tail. I'm expecting that he's going to pass me any minute. And I actually tell him I'm going to give you plenty of room when you get up here. He plays it safe down that corner. This is a dangerous place to pass, but I'm going to play it cautious, let him through. I'll take the turn. So I've lost the position. I'm in 5th now, which is fine by me. Again, just drive through the race safely. And then here comes Jonathan passing me on the right, dropping me into 6th position. Again, still feeling comfortable that all these guys were faster than me in qualifying. I just need to stay focused. Tires are also warming up. We're on lap 3. Tires feel really good by this point, like you can really push the car and push the turns. I want to back that up just slightly there so you can see what just happened. Come around the corner, tap the wall just a little bit. I take no real damage. They do say my left side is damaged a little bit. I can't see it and I don't feel it in the car. The car's still handling fine. I got 0 penalty points for hitting the wall there because it was just a tap. But it does throw you off a bit. You have to just hunker down and focus. You don't have a lot of time to like get back in your head and go down a straightaway and think, okay, I'm gonna just straighten my head out. I do know I'm about 3.5 seconds ahead of Carlos behind me. I really do enjoy that corner. That chicane right there is just, man, you just got to really throw the car into it. Lap 4, things are still going good. We have to do 19 laps this race. I am falling slightly behind Jonathan in front of me, but some of that was hitting the wall. I see that these two up ahead are fighting, Bernardo and Gary. Gary in the green. There's an accident I just heard. Not sure where it is. Somebody hit the wall here. Oh, yeah, it's that individual up in the lead there. He pulls over kind of out of the way. You can see the damage on his left side of his car. That allows me to catch up to the group. And I'm still 3.5 seconds ahead of the person behind me. Okay. Jonathan is pressing Bernardo here into this corner. I want you to see it from my perspective. Same kind of pass that was done on me was attempted right there. He backs out. You can see from this perspective just how little give there is. I mean, one mistake and you're in a wall, and that's it. That's it. We are in lap 5 at this moment. You can see, again, Jonathan is really pushing Bernardo there. Swings to the right, kind of taps the wall, but still has better draft. I'm expecting there to be an accident here, so I'm going to back off a little bit early, see what happens. And boom, Bernardo hits the wall there hard. I slide past him. I'm going to give him plenty of room. I want you to see this. He tries to take the position back right here. But I'm able to get a better run out of that turn. And so I take that position from Bernardo. I want you to watch behind me for a minute. As you see, Aiden has pulled ahead of Bernardo as well. I think Bernardo's got some damage, like the car may not be driving correctly. Aiden just hops that thing, taking the penalty. Those guys are 3 abreast behind us. Bernardo comes out ahead of that fight. I'm kind of glancing occasionally in my rearview mirror, seeing this going on, but you don't have a whole lot of time to pay attention to it. I will say there wasn't a whole lot of bad-mouthing people during this race. Like, everybody was racing hard and having a good time, and there was a couple, what did you do, you idiots? But, you know, in general, people were driving very respectfully. All right, this is lap 6. You can see there that Kareem takes the position from Bernardo. And while those three guys are back there fighting, I'm totally fine with this. I mean, because they're slowing each other up doing this. I'm in 5th place. Kareem's off the track. And you can see that, again, they're battling it out, which is allowing me to pull away from them. All right, let's go back to my driver's perspective because I am keeping up with Jonathan in front of me. This, however, is lap 7, I believe. And man, I'm telling you, like, I was so focused, but then, like, I do feel my mind wander a little bit at this point. I can't believe we're only on lap 7 at this part of the race because I've been working so hard. And it's fascinating to me that, you know, we're at this stage of the race and I'm like, oh my gosh, we're only 7 laps in. Can I hold on to this position for 12 more laps? And I was feeling pretty confident, but then I do make a little mistake here, and then I think I make it going into this turn. Nope, that was fine. But I do feel like I have to tell myself, focus, you know, get focused, because you can feel the tension and the pressure is causing, you know, your mind to wander a little bit. Another excellent handling of that turn, if I do say so myself. But you can see behind me, Aiden has definitely caught up. He is way faster than I am, and he is within a second, half a second at this point. So just flying until then. And I was about to tell him on the radio, I was about to tell him, hey, I'll give you plenty of room when you get up here, and then he just spins out. Fortunately, he didn't take anybody else out, but I found myself still 3 seconds ahead of the group behind me. Aiden, however, was able to get right back in the race. He's still back a few places, but man, he is a fast driver. I think this is the lap where I'm feeling my mind wandering a little bit. I'm like telling myself, you're faster than this. Focus up. Still 3 seconds ahead of those guys. But in front of me, you can see Jonathan is definitely pulling away from me. If you do it right, you can just go flat out through that corner. I do make a few small mistakes in this race that fortunately don't cost me a tremendous amount, but they do cost me a little bit. Again, I'm finding myself kind of sandwiched between two groups at the moment. I am in 4th place now because the leader has had to pit for some reason. I'm not sure why, but something happened and he had to go into the pits. He must have been damaged. So that bumps me up to 4th position at this point. I can tell I'm a lot slower through this corner. This is where I'm just like, get focused, Carl. This is, you know, you can feel your mind wandering. You're concentrating so hard, and then, you know, you get your mind kind of out of one gear, and then it just kind of throws you off until you can get focused back up again. 2 behind me are closing in on me. They are now 2.5 seconds behind me, and I definitely see it. I would skip forward a few laps, but this is such a short track. I really don't want to take away from that. We're going to watch the whole race. Coming around the corner, you can see that Carl Anderson has taken the position from Bernardo. And again, my focus here, again, with so few laps of practice under my belt, I'm really happy with how I'm doing. And I'll tell you, the first 5 or 6 laps of practice, I just sent it into a wall every time. That's where I send it a little wide. And I'm just happy to keep the car on the track at this point. I'm feeling really good with how things are going. Better than that, at this point, I've set a 1:21.014, which is my fastest lap ever. So, improvements kind of all around the place. Still in 4th place. And we are on lap 11 of 19. So still 9 laps to go. Well, 8.5 at this point. I can see that the group behind me is slowly catching up. I don't know if I'm going to be able to hold them off for 8 more laps. I can't tell you how many times I've seen cars spin out right there because they hit the accelerator too early. And at this point, I'm telling myself, just stay focused. Like, if you're going to get past, that's fine. Just stay focused on your marks. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about it. Finish the race cleanly. Now I'm coming up to some back markers as well. And so that has me a little concerned at this point, that if I catch up to these back markers, there might be a problem. I completely leaped the curb there, taking the time penalty. But the interesting thing about the time penalty you take right there is it forces you to slow down. But you have to slow down for that turn and this turn, and by the time I'm here, I've cleared the penalty. So it's not a huge penalty as far as I'm concerned. However, Carl Anderson is definitely closing in on me. He's within a second. I am a little concerned. He's got that Red Bull livery. You know how we feel about that. And Bernardo right behind him. I should be clear that Bernardo is not my coach, Bernardo, who would not be racing in this class. He's way ahead of me. All right, so I have messaged Carl at this point and said, listen, you're up on me. I'm going to give you plenty of room to pass. Don't worry about it. Let's have a clean race. And I'm having a great time. Like, it's been 3.5 weeks since about 3 weeks since I've gotten behind the 992.2. I did do a 992.1 race. I'm in a league that's doing some of that, and that's been a lot of fun. You can see Carl's right on me here. So man, I really enjoy the sim racing, especially when it's a really great race like this. It's nice and clean. All right, Carl's up on me. I know he's probably going to catch me in the straightaway, if not sooner. I'm going to make sure I give him plenty of room whenever we get to that point. He's got a good draft on me. He's only half a second behind me. The trick is I don't want to give him the spot and the car behind him and the next car the spot. I brake and I stay wide here. But I'm definitely holding up these drivers behind me. And I can't hold them up for 6 more laps. I got to let them through if they have more pace. So I go wide there. I'm going to give Carl this space. I do have it, though, so this being a dangerous place to pass. We have this accident in front of me. We all avoid that. That gives me a little more space again. But now we've got these guys 2 abreast behind me. I'm going to go ahead and let Carl through here. And unfortunately, as a result, I'm concerned that I've now compromised myself for Bernardo and for Robert behind him. Those 2 are battling hard. You can see them colliding. But if I can draft off of Carl, they've got to draft off me. Robert hits the wall hard there. I am currently in 5th position. Hitting the brakes early. When it's like this, I know just hit my marks. Hit my marks as cleanly as I can. Make my driving predictable and steady so that I'm not catching anybody out. These 2 are fighting hard behind me, and quite frankly, I don't need to fight that hard. Like, I will happily let a faster driver through, unless it's maybe the last lap. Boy, you can see them weaving all over. Bernardo is right on my tail here. They're hitting each other. I don't want any part of that. Car back there goes wide, and I don't know if he had damage or something, but he slowed way down. Start braking at about the 150 mark. They switch positions with Robert taking over from Bernardo. Based on how they were colliding, I don't need him colliding with me. I'm going to give you plenty of room, Robert, when you get up on me. And I tell him that. And here it is. I'm going to let him have it. It's fine. He's sliding all over the place. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe he ends up having an accident and I'm able to take this position back. But that puts me in 6th place. Bernardo is right on my tail. Again, I can't really fight this. I get a warning he's on my right. I'm just going to let him through. Unfortunately, I almost let Kush through. Kush and I collide. I didn't see Kush there. He messages me over the radio and says, "Hey, what was that all about?" And I said, "I'm so sorry. I saw Bernardo and I didn't see you behind him." And he's like, "Oh, it's all good." You know, I mean, these things happen. It's fine. Oh, but then he hits that wall hard right there. And there, you can see in the gold and black, Aiden is back up here, Aiden Hayner. And this is the guy that was so fast catching up to me and then just spun out. But look at how incredibly fast he is. You will see him already. He is now right behind Kush. Man, he is talented. I don't know what he's doing down here in this slot. Well, other than the fact he spun out, right? But I'm going to give you kind of my rear chase view so you can watch these two. This is lap 16 of 19. Actually entering lap 17 of 19. So we have 17, 18, and 19. 3 laps to go. I'd love to stay in 7th place, if not get 6th place back at this point. But I see that Aiden is back there, and I know how fast he is. I don't think Kush is super fast. I think he was taking advantage of a moment. I think he and I are about on pace. But the other thing I haven't mentioned in this whole time is I've also set a 120.9, my fastest lap on this track ever. So listen, no matter what happens at this point, I've made some gains, and I'm very happy to see how things are going. All right, you see Aiden right on Kush there, coming into this turn. Diving to the inside. He's going to try to brake a little late. He doesn't quite do it. Look at, I don't know how he is so fast, but man, he is just overtakes Cush right there. Beautiful, but then has to give it back. It thought, but then he's still drag racing down the strip into this chicane. So scary to pass here. But he handles that like a freaking boss and is able to pull that off. And now he's quickly catching up to me. Aiden is so fast. Like his braking points, he really understands braking, and his braking points are so much deeper than mine. So this is my view. Oh, it can't switch to Aiden yet because it hasn't quite registered he's the one right behind me. You can see he is definitely pushing me. We collide there. He actually tells me, "I'm so sorry, I did not mean to hit you there." I said, "It's fine, those things happen." I give him plenty of room, but I am not going to give Cush that space if I can hold it. So I'm going to hold off Cush. I am now in 8th place, which is back where I started, but I've got Cush at 0.3 behind me. So I'm potentially going to lose 8th place here as we go into the final lap of the race. Lap 19. I just have to hold on for one more lap. I get through this perfectly. Cush does too. There's no chance of me catching Aiden. We require him to have an accident in front of me. I just need to, and now we're talking last lap. I'm going to defend this position for all it's worth. I'm not going to give it up to Cush, even if he's a little bit faster than me. At this point, I want to end at least where I started, but I have had a very good race up to this point in terms of my performance and where I think I sit for me. Like, this is where I belonged. I mean, this is where I qualified, and I didn't make any major mistakes, a few minor mistakes, but that's how I was hoping to end the race, with just a few, nothing major happening. Here we come into the final turns. Unless I do something horribly wrong, Cush is not going to catch me at this point. He's hoping I do something wrong, I'm sure of it. But then here we come into the final turn into the straightaway for the checkered flag. I handle it great, and we end the race in 8th position, right where we started. So, what does that look like from a results standpoint? It was a super fun race. I had a great time. Everybody was absolutely just fun to talk with. So here's the results. I increased my safety rating almost a full point, 3/4 of a point. I gained 35 I rating. I'm in the second split. There's not a lot of drivers on right now. Here I am, started in 8th place, finished in 8th place, but 0 incident points. 0 incident. Even the little taps we had, those are 0-point taps. My fastest lap was a 120.9, which for me, I mean, if you look, the drivers around me are in the 119s. Even here, setting a faster laps. The leader set a 119.1, but here's a 118.7. I mean, these guys were quick. And coming into this race, here's the fastest lap of the race. Coming into this race, with a 122, I thought, okay, we'll see where we wind up. We would have been down here in 15th place with a 122. So listen, I call this a win in my book. I think I had a great time. The people around me had fun. We chatted a little bit afterwards. Just a good time all around. And what a way to come back. So I got to say, this is a fun track. Really stressful, but fun.